out of all the pain you went through, including the pain of the initial injury, the pain of realizing what happened, the pain of sitting there in that hospital for 30 hours, feeling like a fever dream, going in and out of tests, not being able to sleep, doom scrolling, the pain of not being able to go to the gym, the pain of not being able to ski, the pain of looking at other people around you and seeing them do things that you could only dream of doing. Out of all the pains you felt, what was the worst?
I think, I like that question. I think mentally the hardest part was starting over. Like, I built up
on a macro scale.
I got up to like 80% of what, like, ish. Like, we're just going to throw that out there. Because I wasn't 100%, obviously. And then going into like this, I mean, I wanted to get the surgery, but like starting back from like, I can't get out of bed without crying. Like that.
Still?
Yeah, no, like just like right out of surgery.
Because of the pain?
Yeah. And like just not being able to walk without like, not even being able to put like weight on your one leg, like on the ground because it hurts. Like starting over was definitely like the biggest mental struggle. Because it was like, okay, I already did this shit before. Like, I had to deal with, like, you know, the injury. And it, like, just starting over again was rough. I need to broaden my horizons a little bit.
Yeah, that's actually kind of what I've been doing recently a little bit.
Yeah.
Like this month, 1 second. This month in particular, dude, I've been like trying to listen to a bunch of albums I've never listened to before.
Yeah.
Like do you know Kian?
I don't.
He's lives on the 4th floor here, and he's been trying to go through the Apple Music Top 100 list.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like they have this top 100 albums of all time.
Yeah.
And he's been going through all the different genres and everything. It kind of inspired me. So
that's cool.
I've been just like all week just trying to play new albums I've never heard before.
Oh, that's cool.
And I found some pretty cool albums, dude.
Yeah.
They're nice.
That's sick. That's something I could like do. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, definitely. I think right now the main two categories are rock and rap for me.
Okay.
Like you mostly listen to rap, right?
Yeah, mostly.
Like modern stuff. Who's some of your favorite artists?
Yeah, modern. Travis might go.
Travis.
Yeah. Travis, Kanye. Who else have I been listening to recently? I guess Future a lot. I used to be a big Lil Baby stan like 2-3 years ago, like during COVID and stuff.
That was a good era of Lil Baby.
That was a good era.
Yeah, I was a big Drip Harder guy.
Okay, yeah.
That album stuff.
Yeah. I was a big My Turn guy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I definitely listened to it a lot, but I got bored of it quickly.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, but some good songs out there.
No, for sure.
I think over the years I kind of got bored of the mumble rap stuff.
Yeah.
But I think Drip Harder is the best mumble rap album there is.
I gotcha. One of my friends that I met from here, he's like a huge Gunna fan, and like I kind of like was losing like the interest in mumble rap, but like I don't know, it just kind of got me back into it like a little bit. I was like, oh, this kind of.
He released a new album, right?
Huh?
What was Gunna's new album?
Oh, I don't remember the name of it. But
my friend's been listening to it a lot.
Yeah, there's like a few good tracks on there.
Yeah, there's like one song that's like 101, I think.
Yeah.
Like I was driving and my friend just keeps playing on repeat. I'm like, bro, chill.
I know. Yeah. I can't listen to a Gunna album straight through though, because he just has like a few flows.
Yeah.
It's not very.
Dripper Drown was a good album. Dripper Drown 2.
Good,
Dripper Drown 2, like the one where he's like in the water.
Yeah.
That was a good album.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, man. How's your life feeling?
It's pretty good. I just got to lock in a little over break. Just honestly, when finals are done, I'll be feeling great.
Yeah. So what's the timeline? Remind me again when you injured your leg?
So I tore my knee back in February, like February 10th.
Was it knee or ACL or what?
ACL. Okay. So yeah, I was skiing on a railing and I
saw a polar bear.
Yeah, my right leg cleared it, but my left leg got stuck under it, so I hit the support beam and then I like heard the pop. I was like, ooh, yeah.
So did you know right away?
I knew I was cooked. I'll be honest. Like kind of like on like the pre-med route and stuff. I was like, yeah, this is not.
So you kind of knew about how this stuff works.
Yeah, I heard the pop. I was like, yeah, I definitely tore something. And then kind of stupid of me, but I did not want to get like ski patrol or anything because I had a friend.
Oh, to get you.
Yeah, so like I like army crawled back up and like got on my skis and I like went down. It was so painful, but then I limped back to my condo and I called my dad. I was like, yeah, I totally just like destroyed my knee. And he's like, I give you a few hours and you'll go back out. You'll be fine. I was like, no, you have no idea. So yeah, then like next day we went back down and I got it checked out. And I saw a PA, I didn't see like a doctor. And they didn't do like the main test to kind of grab your leg. Like, I don't know the name of it, but the hand, one's like under your calf. And then they kind of like pull it like toward them. And like one's like under your foot. and yeah, you can like tell like instantly. But she didn't even like think it was necessary. I was like, I mean, I don't know. Like I like described it and stuff, and I thought like that'd do. But so it took a minute to even just get an MRI, and then I had like
they were delaying it.
Yeah, and I like because they're so common. It's like we don't want to MRI everybody. Because if you didn't like actually tear it, we're just kind of like wasting. Enough. It's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll go like 2-3 weeks of like non-weight bearing, and then I'd get it like reassessed. So it's just a long timeline, and then I had like blood issues going on too.
Blood issues.
So I've had like nosebleeds like 5 a day for like 30 minutes.
Whoa,
like,
the same time period?
Yeah, the same time period.
Was that happening before?
No.
Whoa.
So I was going down to, so I'm from like around here. So I was going down to like Flint, Michigan to get like tests done like a few times over that course. And then I finally like was able to get an appointment, and they down here at U of M, and they were like, you can either go the first week of class, the first week of finals, or like spring break. And I was like, shit. I might as well just get it done like out of the way as fast as I can.
You think about it all year.
At that point, it was like 7 months. I was like, I just wanted to get it, because I was almost up to like my normal self. After like physical therapy and stuff, I was like 80%, and then I went like
post surgery,
pre-surgery, and then I went back down to like 0, which kind of like the fall from grace is a little rough.
I remember I met you on crutches. That's how you introduced yourself to everybody. Welcome week.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, my friend who tore his ACL last spring, he said that he heard the pop too. Yeah. And it's almost like this feeling like you know immediately like exactly what happened. It's like,
instantly.
The mic's gonna pick that up, so I don't want to talk over it. Yeah. And he said that it doesn't hurt though.
No, I sprained my meniscus, MCL, and LCL. So that's what actually hurt, was like spraining it.
So there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, okay. The ACL itself like wasn't bad. And then when it first happened, I was just like full of adrenaline. That's how I was able to kind of like make my way down.
Yeah, because of skiing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, dude. So, okay, what was welcome week like?
Welcome week wasn't bad. I didn't do like a whole lot. Just like I can't run or whatever. I tried to play basketball, but like that didn't work. It was kind of stupid, like looking back. But just hung out with one of my friends from high school. Then a few people like in his hall, and it was chill.
Okay. Do you end up going out? Because I'm assuming that'd be tough on crutches and shit.
So I didn't get surgery till like the second week. I think I met you when I wasn't on crutches. Like
really
at Salt.
You had the cast on though.
No, because I didn't get it until like the second week or like the second day of class. So like welcome week I was chill.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was, and then I went to class Monday, and then my mom picked me up, and then we stayed in a hotel because I had to get up at like 6-7 in the morning to go.
Wow.
I had to be there at like 7 in the morning.
Damn, dude. So I can't believe you convinced me for like probably a month or two that you heard it playing spike ball.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. Yeah, my friend just said he tore it playing spike ball, and I just never. I guess I never corrected it. I totally
that shit was hilarious. When I found out it wasn't from that, I was like, "What the fuck?" It's like October. We're still joking about this.
Yeah, dude. No, that and then the polar bear one. I guess that one. I don't.
The polar bear was a funny one.
That was funny. Some people bought into that, but I don't know. Like. People out of state are like, wait, actually, there's polar bears in Michigan.
Well, some people are really gullible. Like I had a friend from Flint, and we were sitting at dinner one day, and 2 guys came and sat with us who didn't know that guy, and kind of at the same time, we both kind of agreed without saying anything that we're gonna make this joke. I started it, and he went along with it.
Yeah.
That we basically claimed he's never had water in his life because he's from Flint, and he said that he had some like trauma or something from when he sees water because of lead and all that stuff. Luckily, he had Coca-Cola in his thing right now, so we're like, he's never had water ever. And we did a pretty good job of convincing them because my friend John, he actually believed it. And he's like, yeah, he was even afterwards like, yeah, you guys convinced me.
That's funny.
Because we convinced him that he had a Yeti filled with milk.
Yeah.
And that he just can't drink water. But I don't know. Some people are gullible, man.
Yeah.
Cool. So, yeah, does any part of it like hurt a lot still?
No? I mean, not as much now. Like, if I just kind of like chill. I guess like if I try to like run, like then it'll hurt or whatever. But just kind of like living life without like being super active, it doesn't really hurt too much. But like I'd have it because like the blood issues and stuff. I had to get like I had a 24-hour like hold, and that was awful. Like that first week, like so I got it on a Tuesday up until like Friday. Like I needed like narcotics to sleep. It was like the weirdest.
Because of the blood stuff or the pain and
just the pain. So like I was taking I was like prescribed oxycodone, and then I was also taking Tylenol. I was having like 3 grams, like 3,000 milligrams of Tylenol, which is like 6 extra strength tablets, and then like 50 to like not 50, like 30 to 40 milligrams of oxycodone like every day. God, dude. For like the first week. It was awful.
Whoa.
And yeah, I mean, I didn't get like the thing like where some people get like addicted to it afterwards. Because I was just in so much pain that like it made it like it still hurt a lot, but enough where I could actually fall asleep. So I'd wake up like every 4 hours, and yeah, like the next few days after surgery, I just would sleep. And like I tried to eat. It was weird because it also like fucks up your appetite, like narcotics do. So like there was like times where like I'd eat like 3 grapes and be like full, and I like felt like I was gonna throw up
because
like,
drug.
I felt like I ate so much. Yeah, and then like sometimes I would like my dad like brought like I don't know, McDonald's or something, and I had like like a full 20-piece and fries. So it's just like it's a really weird like experience. Like coming out of anesthesia and stuff is. It's kind of fun, I guess, and like in a way, because you're like kind of like out of it. But yeah, I mean, it felt like a fever dream in a sense. But
so you lose a lot of weight, I'm assuming.
Honestly, yeah, I mean, I'd have like a fast, so I mean, take it with a grain of salt. But I was down like 12 pounds like the day I left, because I left like 36 hours after I showed up, or maybe a little less.
From
than
the
that.
ski trip or from the?
Oh, just from the surgery, because like I got in, I had like a 24-hour hold, but like all the stuff pre-surgery, and then I didn't leave like right when I could. I was napping, so it took me a little bit, but yeah, I was there for I think like 30-ish hours, like total.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
Honestly, it was awful because I had like since I had blood issues, like I had to get tests done like so often, so like I kept like waking up in the middle of like a nap or like in the middle of the night to get like blood drawn.
Bro.
So I got like 5. I think I got venipunctured like 5 times, like for 5 different blood draws, like throughout that stay. And then the medication they gave me for the blood, you could only have like 50 ounces of fluid, like total. Because on top of like releasing like the factors that let your blood declot, it also is like it retains fluid, like it prevents you from peeing. So like you can't have too much fluid because it's gonna like dilute your electrolytes, and then like that's all like fucked up. So yeah. Like that, the first 24 hours though, it also included like the IV fluids that I got in surgery. So I had like one like Dixie cup full of like slushy, and for like 24 hours, it was so bad. I was like so thirsty. It was, yeah.
Oh my God.
And then I'm waking up at like midnight to get like my blood drawn and stuff.
Yeah.
It was a crazy experience.
Did you just end up sleeping the whole time, or did you do something to pass the time?
I pretty much slept, and then I doom scrolled. That's about it. Like my parents were there, but yeah, like especially the first like few hours. So I got my surgery at like 10, I think, and I was kind of like out of it until like 9 at night. Like I was in and out of sleeping and just kind of feeling like loopy. And then like I kind of woke up with like full awareness again at like 9:30, but I felt like midnight just because it felt like such a long day. So
yeah, your whole circadian
perception of time was off. Yeah.
Wow, that's wild, bro. If you think back to the day you injured it, and let's think about 2 moments. A, the moment you first heard it, and then B, the moment when you realized what happened.
Yeah.
First, like when you first heard the pop, what are the first emotions and thoughts that went to your mind immediately?
Dude, honestly, I was like still going down the railing. I was like, shit. That was my first thought. I was like, literally just shit.
Something doesn't feel right.
I heard the pop, and then like I'm going through the air, like that split second where I'm like falling, and like before I land on the stone, like I tore my ACL.
You knew it immediately. Yeah.
Like I that's what I thought. That's the first thing I thought. I was like, damn, I actually just tore my ACL. I became like, there's people, it's a common injury for like athletes. So I feel like I've been around a few people that have done it. Like I feel like I'm just part of the statistics now. And then I was in a lot of pain, but I was like, no, you're not gonna cry. You're not gonna do it. You get your ass down this hill. So that was like my next thought. I was like, I'm just gonna get down the hill, like whatever. Any means necessary. I'm not getting any help. So my one friend that was with me like helped me up, and that's it. And then I like try to put my bindings on. I don't know if you know skiing, but you have to like stomp in your bindings. So you like lock it, like you like put your toe in, and then you like stomp the heel, and it like locks it. So like I did that. Well, I thought I did, and I went down on the hill, and my binding was like on my left side, like it wasn't in because I couldn't put that much weight on my foot to like actually like click it into place. I was like, oh yeah, this definitely is pretty bad. But yeah, that's definitely an experience, tearing And it's like, you know, it's common, but still.
Put on the bucket list of things.
Yeah. You don't want to throw it on the bucket list, but.
Cross it off at least.
Yeah. Now it's crossed off.
Yeah. Man, so immediately your reaction is like, okay, this happened. Let me just like focus on this moment. And let me just get out of here first.
I just had to survive. I didn't really want to think too deep on it. I was like, maybe I'm overreacting, you know. And I called my dad because he was out skiing too. But like, yeah, I was like,
not in the same area.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I fucked my knee up. And he was like, nah, you'll be fine. So yeah, I kind of like limped my way back and I just took a nap. And then like 4 or 5 hours later, my dad comes in with my little brother and he was like, try to walk on it. And I tried, my knee like buckled instantly and I like fell. And I was like, ooh, this is bad. And he's like, yeah, we'll see how you feel tomorrow. So we just kept like kind of putting it off. And then, yeah, we went to the ER like the next day, like going back home. And they were like, yeah. They thought I just sprained my MCL, but I was convinced. And then I saw my like actual like pediatrician like a few days later. And he's like, no, you tore your ACL. I can't like clear you for anything, but like come back in 2 weeks of not weight bearing, like fully crutches. And then I can get you an MRI.
Okay. Initially, you mentioned the doctors were doubtful that you would tear anything. They said they were more questioning you, and this happens all the time, so they're not just going to waste money on MRI. So
yeah.
When they were telling you that you're likely fine, your dad's telling you you're fine, the doctor's saying nothing happened, did you ever doubt the initial conviction you felt that I know I heard this?
Yeah, no, definitely. That's a good question. Yeah, and like a lot of people are saying like, no, you're fine, but your instincts are like, I'm not fine. And then I don't feel fine. It definitely like does make you like kind of second guess yourself. Like, am I just like overthinking this? Like it's with anything in life though too. If you're just like everyone around you is thinking like the opposite, it's kind of hard to like go upstream, I guess. Especially because like I didn't do anything on it for 2 weeks. So I went back to that second appointment. On my way there, I'm like, I don't feel that bad. But as soon as you started doing tests, I was like, so much pain. I was like, yep, okay. Like kind of like reconfirmed all my like suspicions or whatever. But
so when did you accept it? Like, did you go through those like typical phases of like?
Oh yeah, I think I went through the whole grief cycle.
Yeah, what's that cycle?
I don't remember. I know denial's the
first one. Let me pull it
up.
It's a grief cycle?
Because honestly, it wasn't that bad to accept, but the day of my original surgery was the day before, was the day right after, the day I got my first, blood tests. And that was hard. Like, when the hematologist came in, he's like, you're not getting surgery tomorrow. We had, too many, results. We need to, double check a few things. We need, more tests done. It's not going to happen. It's, too risky.
And but you guys also not only tomorrow, but you waited a long time for this.
Yeah, we waited 7 months.
Why was that?
Just because I had to keep getting more tests. Because first they thought I had a blood disease called von Willebrand syndrome
from a bloody nose and all that.
Yeah, but then it was 3 points outside of the normal range, so it didn't look that bad. But then, yeah, I kept getting just more tests, and then
what disease was that again? What's it called?
Von Willebrand's. It's VWF.
Can you just describe what that is?
Yeah, it's just it's a part of the clotting process. It's a little protein that kind of helps with clots, but if it's not there, either in quantity or quality, it just doesn't allow your body to fully clot. But it's kind of clotting is very complicated. I mean, I'm not an expert in it, but it's a big 3D puzzle piece kind of, and if you don't have enough of the pieces, you can't make it, or it takes you longer at least. So yeah, first I thought I had that, but then
and that's not in any way connected to the knee. That's just separate.
This is just completely different.
Yeah, which
is weird, because they were why did you have him play all these contact sports? Guys play football and stuff, and we were we have had no symptoms besides the past 2-3 weeks.
Wow.
So it was just, it was
sometimes
really weird.
People get bloody nose from the cold and stuff, so it probably wasn't that.
Yeah, it wasn't that either. I mean, I've had it in the past, but then I was using a humidifier, and I was using a nasal spray with saline every morning, and I was still having them. Damn. So that's when we were yeah, something's happening. But that was really hard to accept that I wasn't getting it when I wanted to. And that's when I actually started getting really frustrated, I guess. And that's when I guess went more through the grief cycle. Because first it was I tore my ACL. You can't do anything about that. But then it was harder to accept you're not going to be able to start your road to recovery like when you want. And I had to wait 7 months on top of the 9 months it takes. Now it's gonna be over a year. Like I can't ski this season, which sucks.
It's the first time you've not gone skiing.
Yeah, like that's like the first year since like I was like maybe like 8 that I haven't skied at least once.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was really hard to accept. Just like the delayed. It's been a good test of patience though, I'd say, because like I still can't run. I'm like just starting to do.
Were you big into running before?
Not really. But yeah, I haven't been able to like run or hit legs or anything, but not being able to do that for such a long time, going like when I get to run and stuff again, I think I'll be a lot more into like sprints or some form of like cardio
for the sake of it,
just because I like haven't been able to for so long.
Wow, dude, amazing. Yeah, the grief cycle is shock, denial, anger.
Yeah, a lot of that.
when was the anger coming in?
Yeah, especially when I couldn't get like the surgery initially. That was like when it first like really hit, and then like there were just times where like you're just walking around with a torn ACL, because after PT like you can walk on it fine, but like sometimes your knee just buckles and it's like super painful. It just like hyperextends for a second, like locks up, and it's kind of scary too, because like shit, like it's out of nowhere, just snap of fingers and you're just like on the ground.
Yeah.
So that's like every time that happened, I don't know, like to me, I kind of like took it as a constant reminder that I was like below the average person in a way. Like I couldn't like do the things that like anybody else can like just do, like run, walk, like anything like that. So that was where a lot of additional anger came in from.
Was the anger directed toward somewhere, or just anger towards?
I was just mad, I guess. Like I wanted to get it done.
Like, are you angry at someone?
No, I would tell like my parents, like I wish we didn't get the like we didn't see like the blood, like the hematology team, like we shouldn't have gone to that appointment, because then I could have got the surgery. But then at the same time, that would have been a super big risk, and it's like, would you want to like risk dying at a basic surgery just because like you didn't get everything checked up beforehand?
That's true, actually.
But
yeah. So it goes. Then bargain. I don't know what bargain is, but
I think it's just trying to like, I don't know, negotiate. Like I tried to like, could I just like take the medication and then like go into surgery? Like no, we have to like test to make sure it's like
you're kind of internally debating. Yeah.
And then because I actually had to get a different surgeon, because like with the blood stuff and like whatever, the paperwork or something, like the original surgeon I want to go to, who like he did one of my friends, like he's great. He is the orthopedic surgeon for Central Michigan. He did like something for like Antonio Brown like back in the day. Like he used to like do like more like athletes like at the professional level. But yeah, he was like, my clinic just, I don't think I have the resources if shit hits the fan for you. So then like having to find a whole new like crew and team like down here, and long then process. Like it's a whole mess.
And then it closes with depression, reflect, and accept.
Yeah.
Depression, like how bad was the because I think that the hardest part of any injury is when you take the athletics from an athlete, because I think that it becomes so ingrained in your life. It's like, well, if someone came to me and told me I just can't lift anymore, it's almost sounded like, what's the meaning of life anymore? Because every day I look forward to going out in the morning, and I know that you're lifting now. There was a period of time where you weren't lifting anything, right?
Yeah, there was times like when I first tore it, I think I took like a week off, and then I like tried to go on crutches, and I'd go with like a group of friends and stuff, so I wasn't doing anything like too crazy, like all cables. Just
were you allowed to like do stuff for the whole time?
Cables? Like once I was able to like walk like good, I was clear to like lift just no leg drive, fully upper body.
How long did
like,
that take
no legs.
To get there?
To get to walking, probably like completely independent, like 2-3 months. Honestly, it took a minute. Partly because like you tear it and within a month you're getting surgery. But I was like walking with the torn knee, like the other parts of your knee, like your other ligaments have to kind of like make up for, like pick up the slack. And then like you're using more muscles in different ways than like you did before.
I guess that's a good thing.
To make up. Yeah, like I remember like when I first was starting to walk again, like just walking around like class and then like around my house, my hamstring was like so sore. Like that first day, I was like, damn. Felt like I did like single leg RDLs. Yeah, I was like just really sore to the point where I had to like muster the courage to get out of bed and like just go through the day. Just because it's just like that compensation that you like have to do because you have no other choice besides like get wheeled around. But I'm not doing that either.
Yeah, you didn't want a wheelchair, right?
No.
Yeah, I would never. No, that would be ass, bro.
I did in the ER because it was like so painful. Just like,
well, that's fine.
I was like limping, and they were like, "Do you want a wheelchair?" I was like, I said no, and my mom's like, "You're getting a wheelchair. Like we think you just tore your knee. You don't have crutches yet. So I don't know. It feels humiliating too.
It does because you mentioned before that you always now that there's something that keeps you below the people around you.
Yeah.
And it just sits in your mind.
Right.
What does that feel like?
Dude, it sucks. I'll be honest. It's not as bad, like, I guess now, because, like, having, like, good group of friends and stuff. But, yeah, just, like, low-key, like, anytime I see just, like, someone, like, going for a jog around campus, I'm like, must be nice. It's not fun, but, like, it's a tough pill to swallow. That was, like, one thing that took a minute. But, I mean, now I'm kind of, like, on like the come up again from like my injury because I'm actually like I got the surgery. I'm able to like recover, so it feels like better now. Like it's now instead of like before I got my surgery, it was kind of like will that ever be me someday? Because I kept I got like canceled once, like delayed, and then pushed back one more time. So like there was a point where I was like, I don't even know if I want it, which was stupid. It was more because I was just pissed off, but I was like, I don't even want like. But now that I got my surgery, I can kind of like, that's going to be me one day. Like, that's going to be me this summer, like going for a run or like in the gym squatting. Like, that's going to be me this summer. It's a lot easier when like, you get through like the tougher parts of it.
And it's nice to have something to look forward to.
Exactly.
Yeah. Amazing, bro. Talk to me about in more detail the period between injury and walking because I think is depression a good word to describe it? Like, was it severe? Were you able to find other ways to spend the time? What was your life like without the gym? How would you describe your mental state at the time?
Yeah, for me, like, it's different because college is like so much busier than high school, but I just like the weeks felt way longer, I guess. Like, I was like, I haven't been to the gym in 2 weeks and it's been like 3 days. I guess I wouldn't say I was like ever like severely depressed though. I don't really know what did I do to pass the time because like I didn't want to hang out with like my friends either as much because I didn't want to feel like a burden and like we can't do this because Ahren's on crutches or whatever. But no, I had some like friends surprise me and like we played like cards like a few nights, so that was nice. Just having like people to support you, like rally behind you, like makes it a lot easier.
So it was never terrible.
No, I wouldn't, honestly, not really. But, like, besides not being able to get surgery, like, the injury itself wasn't bad. It was just the process to, like, actually get fixed. That was the hard part. But, yeah, honestly, it hurt way more, like, coming out of surgery than coming out of, like, the original injury.
Because of the pain?
Yeah, there's the pain associated with it. Like, the pain was worse. The swelling was worse. Yeah.
Got you. What did it feel like to walk?
Yeah, it felt crazy. So I went from like 2 crutches to like 1 where I'd kind of like walk with it. But yeah, like the first day where I could like shed that, I don't know, I just felt like free again, Same with like,
it's a good way to put it.
Same with like losing the crutches like on campus, even when I just had my brace, and then like losing the brace, like every time you just feel like, getting closer to like what you were before. And it's just like, just having those milestones. Like a big one I had coming out of surgery was like a lying leg raise, just like picking my whole leg off the ground and like raising it up, because I think it took me like 3 weeks to be able to do that. But just like that, I celebrated that. Like I was so happy. It was insane. Yeah. So yeah, just like being able to appreciate the little things and like being able to monitor your progress like throughout was what helped me the most.
Wow, that's powerful, dude. It really is. You've done research recently, right, on this topic for your class, on your kinesiology?
Yeah, just like an English paper. We're just having to like look at different, like whatever we wanted. So like I got a quad tendon graft, which means like they took out part of my quadricep tendon, and they like got rid of my ACL completely.
Who did?
Like the surgeon.
Oh, okay.
And then they replaced it. And then like the tendon, like quad tendon, like grows back fully and it like strengthens and whatnot. But there's like a newer one where they like, instead of like completely taking it out, they kind of like stitch up the ends and they put this like collagen based like thing in the middle, and they inject it with the patient's like blood, and then it starts like a clotting reaction. It kind of like fuses everything, like kind of like fuses like fused rope, I guess, like kind of brings it all together. Just it's interesting because like initially coming out of surgery, people seem to be like a lot better, but like especially athletes, there's like more like instances of re-tearing it, like in the long run. But it just
especially if you don't come back.
Yeah, it just got like FDA approved in 2020, and the research like didn't start until like 2016, so it's super new.
Okay.
Where like
for this specific type of surgery?
Yeah, like the quad patellar tendon, like those grafts have been around since like the 1990s, and they work. They're great. It's just like, is this way better? And it's hard to tell for now. From like what I can see with it, like people usually coming out of surgery a bit better, but not necessarily in the long term for athletes. I feel like it's a good option for people who don't want to be that athletic, but they want to get like the surgery still, because like you can live without an ACL. But I do too much like activity, and just even being a father down the road, I don't want to be like the dad who like can't play sports with his kids.
That'd be ass.
The guy with the bum knee, you know.
Wait, so what would be the limitations if you chose not to get the surgery? Like, let's say you chose, I'm okay without living with the ACL. Like, what are you limited in throughout the rest of your life?
So like running is possible, but that's like they argue, but I felt like it was never feasible. Like I would try, and like you can jog, but you can't sprint. You can't like run very like. I was running a mile. Like let's say I could run like a 7-minute mile. I like with a torn ACL, like fully like recovered, like with physical therapy, I probably could run like an 8:50, 9-minute. You know, like just you're not gonna be like 100% yourself. Like legs is like almost a no-go, especially like quad exercise is just very hard to like build that back. Maybe like after years, but at least like that 7-month period I had, it like I could only do like single leg press, RDLs, and hip thrusts. Like that's all I did on leg days and calves. So
better than nothing.
Yeah, it just, and then skiing would like not be like possible at all. It's just too like required on your knee to like cut, kind of like basketball, like, you know, cut, juke, just movements like that. It's like impossible to do without that stability.
So you can pretty much do nothing that makes you human.
Yeah, at least like as like a, you know, like a teenager like who like likes to be athletic and like participate in
just
sports.
Move around and just I mean it's a huge part of life, dude. Not being able to do that, because even older people, a lot of people in their older 20s, 30s, whether they're not lifting, like people want to go golfing, and
that actually is one thing you can do.
You can golf with it.
So because the first surgeon I met, he's like, I know you're probably like set on getting the surgery because, you know, you're a kid and whatnot, but I just have to like tell you that, you know, if you want to golf and play chess your whole life, then you don't really need the surgery. It's not necessary. It's not like crucial.
So I guess like 80-year-olds and 90-year-olds, it makes sense.
Yeah, right. Like it's because at that point the risks from surgery outweigh like the benefits, right. And then like it takes them forever to recover. Like, you know, like a 90-year-old grandma is not gonna get back out like to the playing, like, you know, on the ski slopes as like fast as like me, or even like a 14, 15-year-old.
Definitely, yeah. So when you're doing the research for this essay, what were you researching? Just this specific surgery technique? Or what?
I was just looking at the two types and like some like the comparisons, like looking at like muscular atrophy, kind of like coming out of surgery, and then like there's kind of like these like subjective scores that I actually have to fill out too. It's the IKDC. I forgot what it's like, International Knee Documentation Committee or something like that. And it's a bunch of stuff on like a scale of like 0 to 2 or 0 to 3. And you kind of like circle like how easy it is to put on your shoes, like things like that. And like that is like a metric that they help use to determine like recovery. So like for me, it was like if you get above like I think halfway, that's like when they kind of start thinking about like losing your brace, you know, things like that. But then like near the end of it, it's stuff that's like impossible to do for like months. It's like, can you sprint? Can you jump? Like all that stuff.
Can you sprint now? No, right?
No, I can't even jog. I'll be honest.
Can you jump?
I haven't really like tried like full out, but the landing is what kind of scares me, I guess.
Wow, that's crazy, dude. This whole process of recovery, everyone kind of thinks about in their head, they imagine that this is probably what injury's like, and this is probably what recovery's like. did it match your expectation of what it would be, or did something surprise you about it?
Honestly, it didn't match my expectations, mostly because I had to do, like, the first 2-3 months is like nearly identical to when I guess it hasn't been 3 months yet, but like the first month.
Since the surgery.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
The first month's been the first month was like nearly identical to when I came out of just the injury itself. Like the swelling and stuff kind of like locks up your quad and like your hamstring, and your like body's kind of like not wanting your knee to really move that much, and you have to like wake it up in a sense by like getting the swelling out. And like it's like you just sit there and you're like squeezing your quad as like hard as you can, and it's like not even firing. Like you can't see it. So I use like a TENS machine, which is like transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulation, which is just they like, since you can't contract your muscle, they use electrical stimulation to like contract it for you.
Oh wow! So what they put something on your knee?
Yeah, they put like electrodes on. So I had that like both going in and out of surgery.
Yeah.
And it's a weird feeling because it's like moving your leg without. It kind of like tingles. It kind of hurts too. It's weird, but it doesn't hurt that bad. Bro. It hurts like a little bit, like not like a whole lot, but it's a really weird overall feeling.
That's scary, bro. Like your quad's moving on its own.
Yeah, I mean it's not moving much, but it's a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, like that whole like process like identical. So just knowing kind of where I was at and like what the next steps were, at least at first, like made me kind of impatient, I guess. Like, oh, I've like done this, and like just like the whole like restarting everything, because like I was like, I've done this before, like I know what's next, but not being there yet. That it was like, yeah, very upsetting in a way, I guess.
Out of all the pain you went through, including the pain of the initial injury, the pain of realizing what happened, the pain of sitting there in that hospital for 30 hours, feeling like a fever dream, going in and out of tests, not being able to sleep, doom scrolling, the pain of not being able to go to the gym, the pain of not being able to ski, the pain of looking at other people around you and seeing them do things that you could only dream of doing. Out of all the pains you felt, what was the worst?
I think, I like that question. I think mentally the hardest part was starting over. Like, I built up
on a macro scale.
I got up to like 80% of what, like ish. Like we're just gonna throw that out there because I wasn't 100% obviously. And then going into like this, I mean, I wanted to get the surgery, but like starting back from like, I can't get out of bed without crying. Like that. Still? Yeah. No. Like just like right out of surgery.
Because of the pain.
Yeah. And like just not being able to walk without like not even being able to put like weight on your one leg like on the ground because it hurts. Like starting over was definitely like the biggest mental struggle, because it was like, okay, I already did this shit before. Like I had to deal with like, the injury, and it like just starting over again was rough. But also
went through the whole thing.
Yeah. Also physically, like just knee surgery was awful. Like I'll be honest.
The day of the surgery or the pain after?
It's the pain after is so bad.
Wow.
Like I said, it was hard because like most people, if they just strictly tear their ACL. Sometimes if they don't really get it checked out, they'll like play on it. Like I don't remember who it was. Like a basketball player that played on one for like a week. Like Julian Edelman like tore it mid-game. Like wide receiver for the Patriots, but I think he finished out the game. I mean, you're off. You can't like go 100%, but you just feel like a little off. I'll be honest, I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, sorry. Like the surgery itself, like you're just in so much pain. Like I said, trying to get out of bed because your leg's like dead weight when you come out. You can't move it. You can't control it unless you like grab it with your hands and like actually move your leg.
No way.
And then the brace was like locked for. I didn't take the brace off for like 3 days straight until I went to physical therapy. So yeah, that was bad. Just trying to get out of bed and like standing up took me like 10 minutes. Like literally blood, sweat, and tears. Like I was like crying so much. I was like, got like a little snot. Like it was disgusting. It was like such an ugly sight. Man. And then like just making it down to the car. So it was such a awful experience. Yeah.
Post surgery, when you're feeling this pain every morning, tears rolling down your cheeks, snot in your nose, pain in your eyes, in your heart, and your soul. What motivated you to finally get up and get going?
Yeah, I'm be honest, I had to pee really bad. That was my first thing. I was like, I can't just like sit here and wet myself. I got to get up. I'm not using like the little urinals they hand you. That was like,
they give you stuff.
It was kind of goofy, but that was like my first like. I gotta be like a big boy, you know. I just gotta like deal with it. And then like besides that, just like I have 2 younger brothers, so just trying to be like a role model to them, because I went home that week, like Labor Day weekend, and not letting it beat me. I had to be like bigger than it. Like I have to tackle it head on. That was like my biggest motivation, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Yeah, because it's really about thinking about the man you want to be, and the man you want like your younger brothers and everyone to look up to. Like what does that kind of Ahren do? Doing that.
Exactly.
Nice, dude. When you think about athletes, you mentioned Julian Randle.
Julian Allen. He just don't want to know that tore his ACL.
Yeah. I think there's this debate whether sometimes we look back at athletes that hurt something and then they're so strong, they power through, they're so masculine, they got through that, and look at them, they finished the game, like look how hard they worked, like they fought through the pain. And then there's a little bit of it where it gets so extreme with stupidity, and then they kind of just fuck up the rest of their life. But where do you stand on the spectrum? Like, do you think it's better to play it safer when an athlete, for example, hurts something, they should like check out immediately, or do you think that there's something noble about pushing through that?
I guess it depends on like what like the injury or whatever, and like there's a few other factors, but I'm kind of for like, you know, pushing through at least a little bit. I'm not saying like if someone tore their ACL and they played the rest of the season, but maybe finish out the game, or like finish out the race, even if they couldn't run, like walk it, just like that last, like just the extra mile. I think that's something that should be like appreciated.
Do you think this is the hardest thing you've ever done in your life?
You know, yeah, it might be actually.
What comes close?
I can't think of anything that I guess compares to it. No, I got concussion, but that was like nothing. That was nowhere near as bad as this.
So it wasn't a crazy concussion?
No. And it just, you know, the whole process of actually getting like the treatment and that whole, it was so long and like dragging and just mentally like draining. So it was just a whole ordeal.
Yeah. I mean, concussions scare me the most.
Yeah, concussions are definitely scary, but I definitely wasn't as hard to like come back from and deal with, because it was like, oh, like you have a concussion, and it wasn't like, you know, waiting like a month to be like, oh yeah, you have a concussion. Like I went in that day, like, yeah, you have a concussion.
So it's like the stress of the build up, like what was actually happening.
Build up, and then just because then the plan is like pretty straightforward. Where, you know, with my other like condition, it took, you know, forever, like 7 months just to get like surgery, and here we are. Yeah.
The first day, the day you 100% are healed, what's the first thing you do?
100%, like I'm getting cleared. I am
go for squat PR.
Dude, literally, I'm either gonna squat or deadlift PR. I don't know, maybe like honestly on top of that, go for like a run or something, like play basketball, just something that involves like my knee like a lot, and maybe going out to eat, celebrate. That's what I want to do, like, you know, celebrate like the whole the whole journey, because it's over finally.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, it's, if you look at the individual things you're doing, like, okay, I'm going back to PT again, I'm doing single leg press with like less than a plate. Yeah. Like they seem like such small movements, and nothing as cool and exciting as going for like a 225 bench PR, or like squatting really heavy, or going on like a giant sprint. Like these are, in your mind, they seem like these small petty things that you know you could do more, but that you're kind of fucked. But do you still feel like it's still, since life is kind of relative, it feels like you're going this journey, you're trying to achieve this big thing? Does it still feel like this big milestone kind of thing you're working up to? Or? Yeah.
So, like, for example, instead of being able to leg press like 600 pounds for like, you know, 3 sets of 12, I'm doing, just yesterday, I like went up and did 160 for a 3x12. And that's like a struggle. Like I'm breaking a sweat doing this. Like I need to I'm like borderline like grunting in the middle of this PT clinic. I'm like making a scene. Like, it definitely is, since it's such a struggle still, it feels like rewarding in a sense. Like just going up from 140 to 160, that 20-pound jump. It's still less than my warm up from when I used to leg press, but just since it's like, just the fact of having to work for it so much and having to like, you're really struggling still. That makes it more rewarding than, if it was just like super easy.
Yeah. Amazing, dude.
If it's not easy, it's not worth doing,
Yeah, that's a good point. What are your plans for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I'm going to go home probably tomorrow. Or no, tomorrow's Sunday. Sorry. Yeah. Monday. Because I have PT, so I would have skipped Monday, honestly. But I want to, I want to go to that. And then me and some high school friends might hang out, since you're from Jersey. So I don't know if you know euchre, the card game.
No, euchre.
So it's mainly a Michigan thing, and it's
a Michigan card game.
It's kind of spreading to the Midwest. You play with a normal 52 card deck, but we're gonna probably play that together, in some poker and stuff. Hang out with my girlfriend, and then Thanksgiving see my whole extended family, and just spend time with everybody.
How does euchre work?
It's hard to describe, I guess. You only play with 9s to aces.
Okay.
And then you have a partner that sits diagonal from you, and every single round someone deals, there's each player has 5 cards, and you play one at a time. And depending on the hierarchy system, someone wins it, and that's called a trick. Out of the each round there's 5 cards, so it's 5 tricks.
So everyone has 4 cards.
5.
Everyone has 5 cards.
Yeah.
Okay. And they deal a card in the middle?
Yeah, everyone plays one.
You choose a card to put down.
Yeah, you choose a card. There's a lot of other rules that go into it, but it's the main premise. And then if you win the majority of the tricks, you get.
Wait, how does a trick work? Sorry.
It's each person plays 1 card. So if each.
Who gets the highest card?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's kind of based on I don't want to get into it too much. I'll teach you how to play, but.
Hey, why don't we? Let's get into it, bro.
So it depends on the suit that's the trump suit, the dominant suit. And then that suit, so let's say it's spades. The jack of spades is the highest card. And then that's called the right bower. And then the left bower is the jack of clubs, so it's the same color, opposite suit. But it's still the jack. And then it's ace down to 9. And then the other suits, it's just normal. It's ace down, ace to 9.
Okay.
But there's other rules too. You have to follow suit also. So you could have the best card, but if the first person that plays a card out of each round, out of each trick, you have to follow that suit if you have it. So if I played an ace of hearts and you had the jack of spades, which is the best card, but you also had a 9 of hearts, you'd have to play the 9 of hearts. So it's kind of luck with the skills. Yeah. Okay. It's called following suit.
Oh, okay.
It's interesting though.
Yeah, it's complicated.
It definitely takes a little bit to learn. But I've played since I was 8, so I feel I like to say I'm pretty decent at it. I've taught a few people how to play. I feel the best way to go in is either sit next to someone, they explain one person explains what's going on.
Yeah.
Because when 4 people try to explain it, it gets confusing.
Right.
Or just throw someone in and teach you as you go.
Yeah.
You play you just play a few rounds, you make a bunch of mistakes and you learn the rules through failure.
Yeah.
But it's a fun game.
It kind of reminds me, it's very different, but when you first were describing it, it reminds me of this game I played in middle school, but I can't remember the name of it.
I know it's kind of similar to spades in a way, but I don't know how to play. That's how people describe it, but I don't know how to play spades.
Yeah, so I don't know spades is.
I can't really confirm or deny that. I just hear that a lot through other people. They're it's kind of similar to spades, but I don't know how to play spades. So.
I think the game I was thinking about is you sit diagonally from your partner. You all have 4 cards.
Okay.
And you deal 4 cards in the middle, and you have to swap out.
Oh, you get 4 of a kind.
4. Yeah, I don't remember the name.
Kemps.
Yeah, it was Kemps.
Kemps. I used to play Kemps.
That's a fun game.
Yeah, I just always played cards. I don't.
I've not played in so long. How does Kemps work again? You try to get the same cards,
so
right?
4 cards, and then you swap with 4 cards in the middle, and you keep doing that until everyone's done, and then you get rid of the 4 cards face up, and you kind of keep doing that until you have 4 of a kind, and you have to
What's 4 of a kind?
4 of the same card.
Okay.
And then you have to signal to your partner.
Some language.
Yeah, you kind of come with a predetermined sign, and then if they see it and they say Kemps, you win, but then if the other group like notices
Catches on.
it, and they can say like stop chems, and if you do have 4 of a kind, you lose.
Oh.
But you can also have like red herrings. So like if I don't have 4 and I signal to you, like I make like some fake one, and then like the other teams like stop chems, we would win. Because we kind of like baited them out.
This is my memories, dude. I remember the game now. Wait, so for some reason I thought you had to get the same cards as your teammate or something, but that's probably not true.
No, I used to play a lot of cards.
Cards
I still do.
They're fun, dude.
Yeah.
Just like board games, card games.
Yeah.
Isn't it it's one of the coolest things humanity's made? Like, damn, we could just get this like whole board here and just like spend hours playing games.
Right. Bro. Cards and a deck of cards and like chess are like in terms of just entertainment, because just chess has just like stood the test of time, and then.
Probably all-time number 1 board game.
Yeah, and then like cards, it's just you can play so many different games, and just like I feel like the idea of a deck of cards has lasted a long time.
It has. What's the history of it? Do you know?
I have no clue.
I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, I know, me too. One of the first deck. I feel like that was like back at least like 1700s. How
about we guess? Let me find the date and we'll guess. History of
like deck of cards.
Yeah. All right. So what are you guessing?
I'll say like 1600s.
And where do you think it originated? Let me first guess.
I would say Europe.
Not like China or India or something.
No, I feel like
it's more
I guess the modern day like 52 card deck. I feel like it's
not that one.
More of a European thing.
So maybe it's related to the British Empire. You're thinking?
Yeah, maybe. But if it counts like some like ancient like before like the modern, then it might be like Asia. I'm
gonna go 1400s.
Okay.
Let's see. All right, I'm on chat.
Oh, fair.
History of deck of cards. All right. Okay, I was right. It was China.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's read about it. So, the history of deck of cards is fascinating. The origins in ancient China in 9th century.
Wow.
Playing cards are believed to have originated in China during the Tang Dynasty. Early cards were likely made from paper and used for games resembling modern dominoes or mahjong. Okay. By the South Dynasty, these money cards bore suits related to coins, strings of coins, or other monetary symbols. And then in the 10th to 13th century, it spread to the Islamic world. Playing cards spread westward through trade routes. And in Egypt, they developed a 4-suite system with cups, coins, swords, and polo sticks.
Interesting.
That's cool. And then these suites and designs have heavily influenced the European card deck. So I think the way you're thinking about it, at least with the current version of it.
But
because that
is interesting.
Europe, they don't know exactly where, but possibly through Italy or Spain.
Okay.
Through trading contact with the Islamic world. That's cool, dude.
That is interesting.
Yeah. And then by the late 15th century, the suits began to standardize regionally.
Okay.
So the Latin suits, the German suits, and the French suits. They had all different types of suits.
Interesting.
So, and then the court cards became standard in the French design. So that's kind of where it's King, Queen, Jack.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. I like to read about history of things. It's like,
it is
open your eyes to stuff. Yeah. There's one board game me and my family like to play called Risk. Have you heard of that one?
Yeah, Risk is a good one.
I love that.
It's a long game though. Too.
Yeah, it's long. We do like the secret mission to speed it up, but
if you do like the more people you play with, the longer it takes. Like I played like 4-hour game with like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
It takes
My parents are like, okay, hour's up, like we gotta go, and then we end up like leaving it there, and then we keep coming back every weekend, and just kind of sits on the dining table for like weeks.
That was like me. That was me and my little brothers with Monopoly. We'd have like an ongoing game that might last like half a summer, and it just like would never left like the living room floor. There was just like the money was out.
Yeah,
and, like everyone's like designated spot, and
it's such a fun part of life. It's hard getting everyone together though.
Yeah,
because like people, when we're all playing, we enjoy it. But it's like, oh, I'm busy, or my dad's busy, or my sister's busy, or my mom's busy. And when you get everyone together, though, it's one of the best parts of life, man.
Oh,
just
definitely.
Like, it's like for the sake of it, just like sitting there playing board games. What do you think is the best part of life for you?
Dude, family.
Family?
Yeah, having just like I don't know, like your whole upbringing, I guess, is pretty sick. Just like having coming from whatever 2 parents can like really influence your like life and like just how they raise you. I'm not gonna say I'm like a perfect kid, but I think my parents did all right. But yeah, just that like brothers, but I like extended family too. Like I have
how many brothers do you have?
I just have 2, but like I have like I guess I haven't counted them all, but like 10-ish cousins on my dad, my dad's side. So like I like to be close to like my extended family too.
Do they all live in Michigan?
Yeah, we all do all. My one cousin, he was in the like army for 5 years, so his contract just ended like this spring. So we've been seeing him more because he was down in like South Carolina, North Carolina. He got deployed like I think once or twice. And then I have another one who's older. He's been in the Marines for like 6-7 years now. And I think he's deployed in like Africa right now.
That's sick, dude.
I don't know where he is actually right now. But
how old is he right now?
He's 20.
You said Marine, right?
Yeah, I think he's 26, wow. 27.
It's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
So just deployed there. Is there any conflict in particular, or just kind of deployed as part of like?
I know, like at one point he was like, I don't remember exactly because he doesn't like talk about it too much. He's kind of secretive. But if I remember right, this was years ago. So I was probably like, this was like his first or second year, like his first deployment. He was in like the Congo, and it was like stopping like human trafficking, like some crazy shit.
Oh.
Like yeah. Then my one who's in the Army, he got deployed. It's like a combat medic.
Did he go to West Point?
No, he didn't go to West Point. He was a Ranger though.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he went. I forgot where. I think he went somewhere in the Middle East, and they honestly like didn't need his platoon, so he got like to go home early because he was supposed to miss like Christmas and stuff, and he made it like the day before Thanksgiving. He came home. It was like sick. It was cool to see him.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely like being close to like my family. So whenever we like all get together, it's like really special.
Are your brothers your main role models, or is there anyone else you look up to? Or
I look up to them. Since my brothers are younger, I guess I don't really look up to them.
Oh, 20, you said 20. Oh, that's your cousin.
My cousins. Sorry. I look up to them for sure. And then like I guess my like dad, like grandparents.
Amazing, dude.
Like everyone in the family. Yeah.
I feel like I've talked to so many people that are like that. The conversation somehow goes into the world's depression or whatever, the world's mental health decline. And I was talking about my friend Jackson, and he was talking about it's because of capitalism. And then another friend I was talking to was saying, because of men's issues. But for me, like, I've never seen someone in a family like that depressed.
No,
you know
honestly,
what I mean?
I think having like close connection, having like a good family dichotomy, I think that definitely sets you up for being like just happier, like more fulfilled in life.
Have you thought about like your own family when you grow older, or the family you want to build?
Yeah, I guess not like too much. I definitely want to try to stay like in state. I don't know if I will for med school, but that'd be great since being like pre-med, it'd be nice. But it's like depending on the school, it's easier to get in if you're out of state, or like they take in more students that are out of state or like in state, vice versa. So I don't really know like in the ins and outs per like MSU or like U of M, but yeah, like me and like all of our like my cousins, we plan to stay close, and it'd be kind of cool if we could all live within like a vicinity of each other. That's the goal. Will that happen? I don't know. We have so many years like until that kind of like runs its course, but
it's coming, it's creeping up on us. Like I had on the last podcast, I had a senior on two episodes ago, and it was crazy like how close he is to fatherhood now. Yeah, I kind of came in the conversation. I was like, damn, like you're graduating this year, bro. Like it's coming, dude.
Yeah. I know. That's how I felt like before I stepped foot on campus. And I like my graduation for high school. I'm like, damn, like we're going to college. Like we're gonna be like college students. And now since I'm like kind of back in like the freshman, I guess like feeling, I feel like definitely more like mature, like well off than like freshman year me in high school. But I still feel like that, like the world, like the real world's like still like so far away.
It does feel far away.
Yeah, but then also the first semester is like almost over, which is crazy because like it felt like welcoming was like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Does it?
As for me, I mean like some like the days would feel long, but like looking back, it like went by fast.
The way I describe it is like when you say the sentence fall term is over, that seems like that seems fast. But when you talk about welcome week, that feels like years ago.
Yeah.
No. Like you're on Palmer Field playing spike ball, and I was coming up to you. I feel like such a young version of myself. I feel like I've matured a little bit in this term.
Dude, yeah. I don't know. College changes people, I guess.
Yeah.
For better or for worse.
Thanksgiving this term, one more week after that of classes. How would you say you've changed this term, if any?
I guess like this term overall, like just like feel more like organized. I never was like, because high school, at least my high school, it wasn't ever like that hard. Like most of your homework you're getting done in class time.
Is that true? Like
at least like from high school wasn't like very like.
Cause I've heard that from a lot of people. Like you'd go home with no homework.
Yeah, usually. Like a lot of the time. Like I feel like in exams and stuff, like I feel like really didn't like. I mean, I studied, but not like to the degree I do now. So it kind of like made me have to be organized, like coming to college. Like I have a planner, like, you know, plan out the week, like when I'm gonna do what, and kind of like sticking to that. Cause like I don't have time now to just like sit there like on my phone like I used to also. Cause I used to be like bad, like 8 hours a day, like stuff
8
like
hours?
crazy,
No
like
way.
it's insane. Like looking back, cause like now if I did that, I'd like bomb a test or I'd like miss an assignment or like a paper or something. So I guess that's like the biggest where I think I like grown is just like being on top of everything. Cause if I don't, then I'm like screwed. You know, it's one of those things that you have to do, but it's also very beneficial for you.
Did you, first week in, you're like, okay, time to be organized, and you kind of picked it up immediately? Or was it like some mistakes and realizing that this is a lot more than I expected, and then you developed it?
Now, the goal was to get it done, start last fall, senior year. And it kind of like didn't really work out. Like,
Wait, so you wanted to start getting organized a year ago, like in senior year?
Okay. Like to just make it more of a habit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like starting senior year of high school didn't really like work out. Like I didn't like, there'd be like, I'd go like a month without using my planner, things like that. And then over the summer, I kind of was able to crack down on it more because I wasn't doing much. So it wasn't hard to plan out my week because there wasn't much going on. But it was able to like set up kind of like a foundation for like when school kind of came around. And then when I actually did have a lot of assignments and stuff, like it was a lot. I like at one point I was like, yeah, I had no clue what I'm doing. But yeah, just kind of like a little trial and error, like a few like small adjustments, and you can kind of set yourself up for like being organized. And I guess like I'm not saying my method's perfect, but it's pretty easy. Like if I like miss, like if I don't like look at it for like a few days, it's kind of easy to like get back into it. It's not too complicated.
Yeah. So you mentioned you made some small adjustments. What were those small adjustments? You mentioned keeping a planner, preventing yourself from spending too much time on your phone. Yeah. What else?
I like with the planner, I'm like very adamant on it too. So like, I'm trying to think of like an example. Like if like this exam is like coming up, or like we have a quiz, like first thing I do is like grab it, like, you know, write it down. So like I'm not gonna forget like anything. Like the first week of school, I mean, I was out with my knee, but at home I like wrote down like all my like my finals, my midterms, kind of had like that all like spaced out. And then I also have a monthly calendar, like whiteboard. So like the bigger assignments and like the bigger events I kind of throw on there, and it's just like the repetition. If I write like I had a chem exam like this week, like
Thursday.
Yeah. So I wrote like like when I first found out about it back like the first week of school, wrote it down on the day and then on the month in like my one planner. And then when it came around, I wrote it on like the whiteboard, and just like having that repetition on top of it, it's like makes it easy to remember everything you have to do. And then it's kind of more of like a pattern. And then instead of like trying to memorize all your assignments and what like you, and then like it makes it easier to plan what you have to do when, and then like time for yourself too, to just like, you know, chill, go to the gym, hang out with friends, do like have a life, you know.
Yeah, amazing, dude. So you start picking this up senior year, you developed it throughout the year. You mentioned that workload here is harder than high school. Yeah. Like half the time you won't even have homework coming home.
Yeah.
How difficult was the adjustment? Was it like, okay, this is what I expected, and now we're just took like a week and now we're in this and we're cruising, or like how was that?
Yeah, I guess for me, like I figured like college is gonna be hard, you know. I guess maybe more like pre-med, you know, like engineering than like other fields. But what I like, the level that I'm doing at least now is like kind of what I expected for like a freshman year. But sometimes like it's weird because sometimes I'm like on top of the world. I feel like I'm on top of everything. It's easy. And then like there's like some weeks where I'm like, dang, like I don't know how I'm gonna get by. But you know, like you gotta like grind it out or whatever, and you're like better off. Like in the grand scheme of things, you're fine. But there are some of my friends that's like, dang, I feel like they have like no work.
Yeah, really?
Business majors.
No, they got coloring books to color.
Yeah, don't eat the crayons. No, I'm just kidding. It's important, but I definitely think that there are some. Like, I mean, there's majors that are like a lot harder than others.
Definitely. Yeah.
I have bias towards, I guess, like engineering, like pre-med. But,
yeah. You did Kines, right?
Yeah.
Amazing, bro. Did you know from the beginning you want to do Kines?
No, honestly, no. So I got waitlisted from Kines. Like I got like the winner,
really?
I got the winner like acceptance, but like I was on the wait list for like the fall start. But I was also in between Kines and neuro for a while.
Oh, neuro. Talk to me about that. Neuro's cool.
I just think it's interesting, like learning about the brain and like like what's going on. Also here there's like the biopsychology, neuroscience.
BCN.
Yeah, BCN. Yeah, sorry, biopsychology, cognition, neuroscience, and I thought that was interesting. But
that's a unique Michigan thing, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I guess with my knee too, partially, and like other injuries I've had in the past, I just find like orthopedics and like sports medicine more interesting than like neurology. So I just kind of made me lean to like when I had to make a decision what I was gonna do. I was like, I'm gonna do kinesiology.
Yeah. Do you have ideas for a career, or kind of like let's just keep going one step at a time? Like, what do you see yourself in 10 years?
I have. It's so hard because like I've done a lot of shadowing and stuff in like hospitals. Like junior senior year, I went to a career center like for like half the day, and like we did like shadowing a lot. So every time I think that I know what I want to do, I've like found something that is like equally as cool or cooler, and then it's like specialty wise. So like I thought like orthopedic surgery is super cool, and then I saw like cardiology. I'm like, whoa, this is really cool. And then I saw ER. I'm like, this is crazy.
Okay, I'm a bit of an idiot. So orthopedic is like related to injuries, like to the muscle, to bones.
Musculoskeletal. So like, for example, like orthopedics are like the surgical side. So like my knee was done by like an ortho,
right.
Where like they can like subspecialize, but like really mainly like your joints and like muscles is what they kind of like work on, but like bones too. Like cardiology, like the heart. So like the heart's just interesting to me. It always has been, but that's another one. Anesthesia too, just like knowing like how to knock people out and keep them knocked out. And like just like I don't know, like the fact there's like a whole branch of like medications that can like completely like pass someone out where you can like
kind of crazy, bro.
Do like a surgical procedure on them and they like don't feel it.
I think the whole idea of surgery is insane to me.
Yeah, so those are always like those ones are interesting to me, but also there's like the work-life balance that comes with being a doctor because I don't want to be on call 24/7. Like I want to have a family and stuff too. So like dermatology is one that's kind of been growing on me because like a lot of them, it's not saying it's like an easy job, but it's like low stress like in the moment, I guess. Like ER, like someone's coming and dying, like yeah, go save them. For example, not all the time, but like as like a stereotype or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like it's also mentally hard to be a doctor. I don't know if people talk about enough like the amount of death they see. The amount of death they interact with on a day to day. That does something to you, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. I definitely think so. That's why I couldn't go in a field like oncology where I just deal with like cancer.
It's oncology. Cancer research.
So like, I couldn't do that personally. But I mean, there's some strong-willed people that can do that. And I have like the utmost respect for people like that. I
was hearing a story. I mean, I know police officers too. Like I think there's some statistic that a lot of police officers actually see a lot more death and violence, and even people deployed in the military.
Yeah, I mean, there might be. I have no clue on like that topic to weigh in an opinion. Yeah. But there could be, especially if you're like in like some like big city, like I don't know, like Baltimore, Detroit, Chicago.
It's a tough
job. There's a lot of stuff that goes on.
It's a tough job, man. I police officers in general, I have a lot of respect for any kind of service worker as well.
Yeah, especially the military, like physicians, like anyone who's making like a sacrifice for other people.
It's huge.
Either like physically or just like with their time and like their effort and stuff. Like med school is like that's a long haul. Just like a lot of education. It's expensive. I guess like anything like going to college for, but yeah, just a lot of respect.
Definitely, yeah. I was remember this story about a play. I don't know to what degree this is true. I turned on a podcast. It might be true, might be not. But there's this police officer that got a call, or at least the police officers got a call that there was a mother who was calling because her son wanted to commit suicide. And the police officer came and met her in the yard, the mother, and they're talking. And they look at the back door, and her son is there with a gun to his head, and he kills himself right there. And it's like, how do you deal with that as a police officer, man? It's like, what do you even do in that moment?
I have no clue. Yeah. that's why I can't go into a field like that, because I would not be able to have like I guess any sort of composure or like be able to stomach things like that.
It's tough, dude. But yeah, I mean, I guess it goes into neuroscience stuff as well. Like, I think our brain is pretty cool because of its ability to adapt to stuff as well. And I don't know. I guess some people are kind of just built differently. Some people can handle it. Some people can't. Yeah. I mean, I was just thinking the other day, like, it's kind of crazy how some people can like willingly torture and harm others. Because I was remembering like our conversation in the gym the other day, when we were benching together and we were talking about like the different ways people torture each other. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, like throughout history.
Like, what was that one you were telling me about the boat?
The boat? Oh,
Do you remember?
I remember, but I don't remember like the name. I don't remember the name or like the details. But, like the brazen bull is like another one. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
Like what was going through people's minds back then, or like even just like public executions was like a big thing, or like you were like a peasant and you were like, oh, someone's getting hanged today, and like the whole family goes out and watches this thing.
That's crazy.
It's just weird. Like, I don't know, like looking back at, because now it's like that'd be super weird. Like no one would want to like show up to that.
It's like a cultural shift too, in a way. I mean, there's something crazy people still out there, but I feel like I couldn't even watch that. Or
I couldn't either.
If someone told me that you have to do that, like you have to physically kill someone, I couldn't do it, bro. No. I couldn't even kill an animal, bro. Probably. I've never gone hunting or anything, but
no, I never have. Like deer is different because venison tastes good, but like I could not. Like there's some animals I just would not.
It's crazy, bro. Yeah, I mean, what was the brazen bull? One was the one that they put them in like that the bull, like the steel.
It was brass, I think. And they would just like would light a fire under it, and then it would just get super hot, and they literally just get like cooked alive.
Wow.
Just like burn.
Then it made mooing sounds.
Yeah, they like rigged. I don't know exactly how he like did it, but it like the voice box or whatever, like the hole like coming out of like the bull's like mouth. I don't know like what they put in it exactly, but it made it sound like less like someone just screaming. And they said it sounded like a bull, but it's also, ancient Roman times, so I don't know how, I guess, accurate it was, but it's weird. Like, to think that someone, like, thought of that, that's a good idea. Like,
yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I told you the Native American story, right, about where they would hang, there's one of them where they would cut your balls off and put them in your mouth and, like, have you, like, tied up so you can't move anything.
No,
that one's crazy.
That's insane. Yeah.
And then the one where they will hang you upside down and then like have a flame underneath your head so that they like burn your brain alive. It's like
people were dark.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about humanity as a whole, like isn't it sometimes crazy when you think back at like these events? Like how did they even happen?
Yeah, no, definitely. Just things like that. Like who comes up with ideas like that?
It's crazy, bro. But yeah. Anyways, at least we have you part of the next generation of doctors who will help to do good, good of the humanity.
Well, we'll see.
Do you think that humanity's gotten better with time? Because I feel like we don't hear those stories as often now, or do we? I don't know.
I want to say overall yes, but also with like news and media outlets, whatever's like the bad shit always gets like highlighted more because it gets more views, more clicks, whatever. But like we're going for a lot farther from like torturing, like the methods we just discussed, which is like kind of gross to think about. But I think overall we've become like better as a society.
Hopefully. I mean, at the same time, we don't really know what's happening in places around the world. We're kind of limited to the knowledge we're told to the media. But I think despite that, though, I mean, it is statistically the most peaceful time in our history.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not really into, I guess, like a lot of the statistics. I don't want to weigh in too much for somewhere I don't know.
I understand that.
No prior like knowledge.
Yeah.
Or like any level of expertise in, but
that's fair.
I mean, it's different than like back tribal, where if you weren't with like the same tribe,
we're savages, bro.
Yeah, you get like speared to death. I guess, but yeah, I think we've come a long way for sure.
But even if it is the most peaceful time, people are definitely still the most scared because of the media, as you mentioned.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I think people are kind of waking up to that a little bit, because I think that when I grew up, like, I used to think that the news was like God and like news is always 100% accurate. And now you kind of grow up and you realize now like what it's like, and you can almost like see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You gonna lift today?
Nah, honestly, not today. I'm gonna lock in a little bit, get some more work done, get dinner, and then go to bed early. I need to catch up on some sleep.
What time is early?
I might be up by 9:30, 10, honestly. I just want to Just get a good night's sleep, wake up like nice refreshed in the morning, and I mean, I'll probably find something that I can get done tomorrow too.
Yeah. What exam do you have? Chem?
No, so I just had chem. Since I'm in like math 115, I have to do like another mastery. Yeah. So it's not due until like the last day of class. But
for calc?
It's if you're early, it's better because so many people push it off. Like the last day, sometimes you're waiting an hour to take one of these tests, and it's like you can take 2 per day until the deadline. So you have like a large amount of attempts.
It's online, right?
No, you have to go into East Mall, like the basement. You can do practice ones online though. They're like the same exact thing. But yeah, it's just like getting on top of that. I want to get it done. If I could get it done tomorrow, it'd be great. Not to worry about it, over break and with finals and stuff. And then like my English final, it's like a project. I got to make like an infographic on like my paper, and then like an essay that kind of like explaining it.
Yeah,
it's like it's not too bad.
A little diagram about the surgery and all that.
Yeah,
that's cool. I mean, do you enjoy working on that kind of stuff?
Yeah, if it's like something I'm interested in, but. I mean, I just don't like English, so I'd rather not write essays. I'd rather take like an anatomy class or something like along the lines of that.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about most of the classes you take right now? Do you think some of them are useless?
I don't say English is useless. I just don't have interest in it. Calculus, I don't really get just in the sense of like pre-med. Like engineering, you need calculus.
They make you take what, Calc 2?
Just Calc 1.
Oh, okay.
And not all med schools require calculus. It's just like some. But it's a Kines requirement.
Oh, okay.
But we also have to take like biomechanics and stuff like down the road. So I don't know if that has anything to play into it. But I guess I wouldn't say like I'm only in like 4 classes. Like my movement science class I feel like is very relevant. Like the basic, like the Kines basics, like the intro level class, and then chem. Like I'm in like gen chem, so it's not really like as soon as I get into orgo, which is like one of the like infamous classes.
I've heard it's pretty hard.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with it has almost nothing to do with like gen chem.
Yeah,
like all the people that I've met like that like sophomores, juniors, you pretty much like forget everything. But yeah, I guess if I had to say it, like that's a useless class because I still need it for like physical chemistry, but that's not till like junior year.
Cool, dude. All right, Ahren. It's a pleasure talking to you today.
Pleasure talking to you too,
A lot of fun, man. I learned a lot about ACL stuff, so
yeah.
It's cool to learn about and talk about.
It is interesting.
Yeah, always a pleasure to talk to you, man. And
nice talking to you too.
You're leaving Monday, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. What time are you lifting tomorrow?
Dude, honestly, I might not go for the rest of the week because going back home with like some of my friends, I was like, the next thing I would hit is chest, but I'm like, I kind of want to save your friends. Yeah. Because I'm gonna. I told one of them already. Like after you get out of class.
We're benching.
We're benching. Be ready. We're benching. We're gonna get Panda or Chipotle or something. Like it's gonna be fun. So I might maybe I'll go hit like a ab day or something.
That's chill.
Like tomorrow.
Nice.
Because I'll have like, I have stuff I can get done, but I'll have too much time in my hands tomorrow.
Yeah. Angela and I benched this morning.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. Okay. He had a PR, 175.
Okay, for one.
Yeah.
How much does he weigh?
I don't know, 160. But he's just getting
good.
He's just getting started though.
No, he really is. Yeah. Anything above your body weight's impressive. Yeah, in my opinion.
He got up there pretty quickly though,
and
from like where he was like 2 months ago. So,
225 in general, unless you weigh like 340.
Yeah, I went for 225 again and failed today.
That's all right.
I hit 220 so easily last week. Like it went like water, and then 225 was just like
that
tough.
5 pound difference sometimes is like it's humbling.
Yeah,
you have like 2.5 pound plates. Yeah, and it's like this is nothing, and then you can't.
I'm probably not gonna attempt it again until December. So I'm taking a break over Thanksgiving.
Some time. Yeah. Still, I'd say like maybe bench heavy, but maybe not like all out 1 reps.
Got you. On my last episode, it was episode 70. Yeah. By the way, we're up 10-3. Do you care about Michigan football?
Yeah, a little bit. So both my parents went to state, so I kind of grew up a state fan.
Damn.
But I definitely do. I do keep tabs on the sport. I still root for like U of M because that's like where I'm a student at.
Yeah.
I'm not like. I guess like Michigan State's like a conflict of interest. I don't hate state still because both my parents went there. Like they got degrees. They work at Dow. So like
Dow.
Yeah. For like chemical engineering, and I wouldn't have gotten the life I had without them like indirectly. So I can't like hate them, but I mean like. The game was like, it's my it will be my alma mater, So, but I do, I hope we can stick that 5-star QB though.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. What's his name?
I totally forgot.
I don't follow football like that.
I'm just not that into football.
Same here.
As much as like other people. But
some people go crazy.
Yeah. Sports are fun to watch though.
They definitely are. I think sports are such a cool part of life. You know, just especially when you play sports. What did you play in high school?
I didn't play anything after like sophomore year, but I played baseball, football.
Oh, nice, dude.
And then like, cause we didn't have a ski team, or else I would have been on that. But yeah, that's like I ski and I just started. I like working out better than like playing sports. Yeah,
workout's fun too. So, they all have their own beauty to them, you know, their own way. But yeah, anyways, episode 70 last week or Wednesday. My friend told me about this phrase called "die on the stand." Have you heard of it before?
I have not.
So according to chat, I'll give it a real definition of it.
Okay.
The phrase "die on the stand" typically refers to a dramatic or metaphorical expression. It can have two primary meanings depending on the context. In a courtroom, it may describe a situation where a witness, under intense cross-examination, fails to provide convincing testimony or inadvertently harms her case. This is not the context that we're talking about, so you can ignore that. The figurative use, outside of the legal sphere, die on the stand might be used to describe a situation where someone adamantly defends their position or action, only for it to backfire spectacularly, leading to... Okay, this is a little different context, but basically what he was telling me is like, we were sitting at lunch and he was asking me like, what artist or music would you die on the stand for? Any artist, album?
Oh yeah,
yeah. So like, would you? I'm gonna get the actual history for the next episode, so I'll tell the story next time, guys. But basically, like you die on the stand, like you're giving a performance to people, and you would like die on the stand supporting that artist. Like you would die on the stand for that artist, right? Okay. And then on the podcast on Wednesday, we end up just doing die stand for anything. It could literally be anything. It could be a concept of life, an amendment, a song, a gym movement, a friend or person. What would you die on the stand for? Anything.
I mean, there's probably a few things.
Give me one. The one thing you would die on the stand for.
Let's see. One. Tupac over Biggie. That's a hot take, but I guess that's one. I just think that he just had a better cultural impact, overall. I'm trying to think of something else that's like, dude, I hate mustard. I guess that's what I'll die on the stand. I'll pray on mustard's downfall, or like pickles. I don't know. So those are like minor things. I guess I can't think. I'll try to think of something like more serious that I'd like actually like.
Take your time.
Die on the stand for.
No rush. Dinner's still open.
But.
It's a good picks.
Yeah. I think everybody should be physically active to an extent, to any degree. Like I think no one should be like fully sedentary unless they physically can't be physically active. That's like one thing I would really push for.
I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
You got Tupac. What was it? Mustards and pickles?
Dude, I don't like them. I just don't mess with them.
And physically active.
Yeah.
Jackson's on Wednesday was the First Amendment.
Okay.
He would die on the stand for the First Amendment.
Okay.
Freedom of speech. That's why we get to do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a cool one, I thought. For me, it was similar to yours. It was, I just said health in general, but more specifically, clean diet was my big one.
Clean diet.
Eating whole foods.
That's a good one too. Yeah. I mean,
I would die on the stand
in a perfect world, it is hard to have a clean diet.
Yeah. You said you used to try.
Yeah. It's just hard because what's not all the time, but what's bad for you tastes good. A cookie.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I had a thing for snacks. My dorm had cosmic brownies. I was a little cheat, chips. I don't know.
What's that sound? You heard that?
I'm tapping my foot.
Oh, okay. I was like, this sounds like it's gonna rain or something. Yeah. I was reading the book right actually below the rational meal, the Outlive. I think I told you about this book, right?
Yeah.
And I just finished a chapter where he's talking about how there's so many myths about diets.
Yep.
But when you actually look at the evidence there's no evidence.
Yeah.
Everyone on TikTok and on the news articles and fitness communities are all like, this is the perfect diet, that's the perfect diet, that's the perfect diet. And there's it's thousands of books on Amazon about the perfect diet. They all can't be right.
Yeah.
And when we look at the evidence that there is about diets, that's probably one of the most under-researched things just because of the the method you'd actually have to do to create a study like that. Because I think there's, as you would probably know, there's two main types of studies. There's epidemiological studies and there's clinical trials.
Right.
And it's hard to run clinical trials in something like diet. Yeah. Like how would ethically to give someone like a diet of ultra processed food for the rest of their life for like a 10-20 year time frame versus not. Like it's ethically so hard to even justify that experiment,
right,
and then B, also to actually have people be consistent with that. Like we're gonna hold them in a lab for 10 years.
Yeah, and like, it's also just not like feasible. Like it's just expensive too, like to study like a group of people for 20, 30 plus years.
Yeah, there's like very barely any studies that even last that long.
Right.
So all we rely on is epidemiology, which is highly inaccurate because of causation and correlation. So everyone's out here saying the vegan diet or the paleo or carnivore and all that. And I guess it matters less about like the special magical diet. So yeah.
And then like to an extent too, like how much is like placebo helping like somebody, like if they swear by like carnivore diet, like made like some crazy claim, like got rid of my insomnia. Not saying anyone actually says that, but just like
people do though.
Yeah, like how much of that's just like, are they just convinced that their way is like that beneficial, and or like is it actually like doing what like they think is doing, or is it just like in their head? I
think placebo is most things in life, in my opinion.
There's a lot,
because if I think about the two happiest times in my life, or if I have to compare two eras of life, era A was like senior fall, and then era B is like freshman fall currently.
Okay.
And I feel like I felt really happy back then, and I also feel really happy right now. But it's like for a whole year, I was convinced that the reasons I felt happy were separate than anything I'm doing right now. But I kind of, through placebo, I convinced myself a story that I needed those things to be happy.
Okay.
It was like, last fall I was in senior year, I was like extremely disciplined. Like that was the lifestyle I was living. Like sleeping at 9, waking up at 5:30, quit all music. And I did all these random things. And I was pretty happy and pretty peaceful. And I was convinced that after that, even when I ended doing that, I was still pretty happy. But I was like, there's nothing compared to that. Peace that I felt. And like I feel like I kind of achieved it now too, but I don't do all that crazy shit anymore. And I feel like you just tell yourself like this placebo kind of thing where it's like, oh, like, but that's the reason why. And at the end of the day in this world, it's like it's confusing. Like I was talking to Angela about this last night. We were like talking about what the perfect workout split is and all this stuff. And there's no perfect workout split. No, it doesn't exist.
No, that's like more in the realm of like lifting. It's just so like subjective that that's what I like about it. Like if you like don't want to like train chest for whatever reason, you just like don't want to. I mean, like no one's gonna stop you. Like just do what you want to do. Just your like results might be different, but like back to like splits. You can really have any split that works for you, as long as you're like not overtraining anything. And there's really like. It's just so personalized, like customizable. You don't even have to lift to like exercise. You can just run, things like that. So yeah, it's definitely interesting because everyone like sells their workout program or this is the way. But I mean, there's not really like studies that compared, push-pull legs to Arnold. Like which one's the better split?
There's jacked Arnold guys and there's jacked push-pull legs guys. That's all I'm looking at.
Yeah, like there's
as long as you got your leg day.
Results out of
a lot of people start skipping leg day when they hear this. Don't skip leg day.
Don't skip leg day.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I agree. There's a lot of misinformation out there.
Definitely.
But they made the most simple thing the most convoluted.
Yeah. Honestly, like that's part of it. Because like with I guess like social media and stuff, some like pushing like your point, you get clout, money, stuff like that. So it's like almost like spreading misinformation or like convincing people that you're like the right way is like a career in a sense.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Have you done the wallet challenge yet?
The wallet challenge?
Do you know how to get the cards out of this wallet?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so we're going to do the wallet challenge, which I do at the end of most of my podcasts, if I remember.
Oh, jeez.
So this is an anti-theft wallet that it became anti-theft after I broke it. And now it's like no one can open it.
Okay.
All right, so we've had twice in the podcast, we've given people attempts to open it. Oh. First one got it in 51 seconds. Second one got it in 49 seconds.
Yeah, I don't like the pressure.
All right, see. So I'm going to time you. I'll give you a countdown, and we're going to see... max of 5 minutes. If you don't get in 5 minutes, we're ending the podcast, going home. But we'll see if you can get it and figure out how to get. You can get the cash easily, but these cards you can't get out. Okay. See if you can figure it out. All right. So I'm gonna put it in front of you. Don't touch it, and I'll give you a countdown.
This is a little nerve-wracking. I'm getting put on the spot. Especially if I do, like, if it takes you, if I can't get it.
Yeah.
If everyone else got it.
All right, let me get the timer. Stopwatch. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna count you down. All right, ready? All right. When I say go, you grab it. All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. Then you said it just to get the cards out of it.
Just get the cards out.
Oh yeah, I guess the cash isn't. Dude, how do you? How do you get the?
30 seconds in.
I'm 30 seconds in already.
20. Don't break it. It's a simple way to do it.
Is it the thing on the side? Oh, there you go.
Damn, that was easy. 31 seconds.
Okay. It's
a record, dude.
Actually,
31 seconds.
No, I just saw. I don't know. I was like, there's got to be like an easy way. That's actually nice though.
Yeah. Actually, even some people find it, but they can't figure out how to press it down.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what gets confusing. But congratulations, dude.
I appreciate it.
You set the new record. Gonna let them know that they've both been defeated.
Sounds good.
But yeah, Ahren, a lot of fun today.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, no problem.
We'll do this again sometime.
It's fun.
With Ahren next time.
Oh, we might have to. That'd be a good group one.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to my episode. If you enjoyed that episode, I guarantee that you'll love this episode right here. The best way to support the channel is by hitting the subscribe button. It'll help me to upgrade the channel, get better guests, better production, and overall, more episodes for you. And by hitting the subscribe button, it'll ensure that you'll never miss a new release. While you're at it, hit the like button, leave a comment, and share the link with your best friend. Thank you once again for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.